Forever. Dog.
Welcome to another episode of Best Show Bests, the greatest hits of the Best Show, with me, your host, Tom Scharpling. If you like what you hear, make sure you join us every Tuesday night on Twitch at 6 p.m. Pacific for a brand new episode of the Best Show featuring callers, celebrity guests, live music, and plenty of surprises. Enjoy! Is that our guest, Mike? All right, let's get this started. Let's just do this. WFMU, do I have a caller on the line?
You have a caller on the line.
Oh, is this Robert Popper?
It is indeed. Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I just, it's 1:15 in the morning here. I've been staying up. I had a warm bath for some reason, which has made me drowsy.
I apologize for that.
It's fine. It's good. So if I kind of start snoring...
Okay.
Yeah, but I won't snore. How are you?
I'm doing great. First of all, let me just say, we do a family-friendly program here.
Yes.
No toilet talk.
No toilet talk.
No obscene dialogue.
No obscene dialogue. Mm-hmm.
This is not Sky or whatever you guys do over there, with the foul language flows like water.
I will abide by the rules of your Constitution, sir.
Exactly. Just pretend this is Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
That's right.
That's how we're gonna do.
That was me whistling.
So Robert Popper. First
yes,
of all, let me just say thank you for calling up and thank you for staying up.
Hey, pleasure.
To do this,
Thank you.
I'm
very excited to be on your show because I think you're funny.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I've got one of your CDs. It's funny.
Oh, look, I appreciate that so much.
Okay.
Let me just say, you are a genius. Straight up.
True. A total genius. Einstein does not compare.
He does not.
No.
You are responsible for some of the greatest stuff that has come down the pike in the last 20 years.
Oh, that's very nice.
Look Around You is your show.
Yeah, and Peter was meant to be on the phone as well. He couldn't make it, which is a shame.
That's right. He is your partner. That's Peter.
He is my partner in crime, yeah.
That's Peter Serafinowicz?
Yeah, Peter Serafinowicz.
Yes.
You pronounced it good as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, this is very good. I'm very excited.
This is a pro interview. I don't take this stuff lightly. So anyway, Look Around You, which people can see on...
it's on Adult Swim, isn't it, at the moment?
In America.
It's so exciting because we love Adult, because we love Tim and Eric.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think Tim Heidecker is listening now. Hello, Tim, because I love Tim Heidecker and Eric, but he's listening. He's a fan of your show.
Look, guys, you gotta like one more than the other. I like you more than Peter.
No, but if he's listening and Eric's not, then I prefer Tim now.
Look, I like Tim more than Eric. I like Robert more than Peter.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to pick your favorites. You got to pick your horses.
And I prefer you to Margaret Thatcher.
Oh, well, thank you.
Hmm.
I like Wise more than Morecambe.
You like wine more than Morecambe?
Yes.
I prefer wine to Morecambe as well.
So anyway, Rob, I'll stop. I'm going to stop with this silliness. You're tired.
Seriousness.
Yes.
It's a serious business.
Yes. For the uninitiated, how would you describe Look Around You?
Look Around You is a musical comedy set in the 1830s in Poland. Look Around You is a spoof science education series kind of set in the late 70s and 80s. That we kind of, when me and Pete were kids, we were forced to watch these horrible, bleak education programs at school that were so complicated and never made any sense. And that horrible images kind of burnt into your skull, and you'd only have to watch one to remember them, and it would sort of haunt you. And we just remembered them. We thought they were really funny. They left an impression on us. Let's try and make one. You know, we decided let's make a short film, and we thought calcium for some reason was funny, and let's make the world's first comedy about calcium. If we make that, people are going to want to come and see that because you want to see a comedy about calcium. And so we did that. And it led to the series because we are now watching at the moment. But yeah, it's kind of fake schooly programs. The first series was, and then the second series were bigger 30-minute things, which were kind of with humans in them, looking at still maintaining the look around you feel, but looking at science and technology from like the 80s forward.
Because the show started off originally, they were 10-minute episodes.
That's right, 10-minute episodes, which we shot in a kind of like just this underground place. Actually, what was amazing, we just found out we shot it with this editor called Chris Dickens, who was just a friend of ours, who just won the Oscar for Slumdog Millionaire. Unbelievably, just to think he edited like the world's biggest film, spent months editing shots of sulfur, calcium. It's fantastic, and iron filings.
Yeah, and so you gave him his start.
Yeah, of course.
Were you thanked?
Well, didn't you see? Didn't you see the speech?
Well, that technical
It was
stuff.
a 10-minute thing about saying to me, to my mother, to my father, to you, to your mother, to your father,
me,
to your grandmother.
You leave my grandmother out of this.
She's a very nice lady.
I've met nicer.
She was quite nice.
So anyway,
yeah.
Look around you. 10 minutes. You are one of the you and Peter.
Yes.
You wrote and created it.
Yeah, we wrote and put it together and did all the music and stuff. It was kind of real labour of love. It was funny. It was just because you could sort of enter this pretend world, which we like. We like doing these sort of mad universes. And to be honest, we could have made those to the rest of our lives. They were just such fun to make. Coming downstairs and you've set this laboratory up and filming there every day for like weeks and weeks. It was really fun. Yeah, I still look back at those days, really fondly. I sound really old, really fondly. Do you say that in America? Do you say the word fondly?
No, we don't.
I don't think I've ever said that word. I said fond. I don't think I've actually said fond. Fondly, with fondament.
Yes, with fondament.
Mm.
We have Robert Popper on the line. He is one half of the creative team behind Look Around You, which is over on Adult Swim on Sunday nights, part of the Cartoon Network, their Sunday night programming. And he's also he's not half. He's all of the guy behind Robin Cooper, who is the author of the Time Waster letters.
That's me. Silly letters.
Yes, we'll get into that in a moment. Now, the one thing about Look Around You is it's that sustained tone you guys have. Yeah. With it.
Yes.
Which is just that it just comes from. It's like it's unrelenting. Which is
it is unrelenting, isn't it?
But that's what makes it funny. It just keeps getting funnier and funnier because you're forced to look. You're forced to watch it. You're forced to pay attention to two things at once. A lot of times when you're watching it. That's
right. Yeah. No. That's a good. That's good. That's a good point actually. Yeah. We also quite like. We watched a lot of old programs, and we realised half the time you would be staring. There's one guy called Jack Smith who made these shows from Manchester for one of the networks here, and they were the ones we kind of really liked, and they were very rare to find, and we managed to track a few down, and we used to watch those ones, and you'd find yourself staring. They have a massive close-up of, like, I don't know, a fly for ages, or like the top of a battery for like 30 seconds, and we just thought that for some reason that made us laugh. We thought we've never seen that in a comedy, staring at something really dull and inanimate for so long, and half of it was seeing if we could find humour in inanimate objects, and like staring at a lump of sulphur for like 2 minutes we thought was funny, because you stare at it and you think you want the image to go away, and after a while your brain relaxes and go, okay, I have to stare at this, and sort of your brain starts fizzing and going mental, and that's the kind of effect we wanted to do, and also to give you that feeling of being a kid again, but horrible feeling of being a kid at school, forced to watch a TV program that wasn't enjoyable, that you had to take notes on while you were watching. So it was kind of that thing. It was a mood piece, really. Yeah,
it's weirdly hypnotic.
Yeah,
and that the visuals combined with the announcer, with the voiceover work.
He was brilliant, Nigel Lambert. Oh, he had such a fantastic voice.
Yeah,
that was actually a woman who pitch shifted her voice.
Really?
No, not really. No, that was a terrible joke. But Nigel Lambert, who actually used to do lots of kids programs in the 70s in the UK, and he is fantastic.
Yeah, it really just creates such a sustained tone.
Yes.
And that was kind of like, did the tone kind of like, was it hard to sustain that, or did it just get easier because it was just getting so much, you were so like in the groove of that?
Well, it was hard to record him. When Nigel recorded the voice, he was laughing every single line because, you have to, the hardest thing is you just have to be serious the whole time. So it's quite hard. And also there is a sort of schoolsy atmosphere, and that thing when you're at school trying to be serious.
Yeah.
And when someone tells you not to laugh, is that whole thing. So yeah, it was quite hard, but when we were writing it, we would think hours about, is this going to make it too silly? Is it going to go too far? Have we, and occasionally we would step outside it just to freak people out, but then we'd step back in. But we tried to maintain the tone, although in the last episode that we did on the brain, we kind of on purpose put some like overly silly, ridiculous jokes in, kind of just to say it's the end of the series, we're going to do this, and you stuck with us, and here's some silliness. And
it really, it kind of makes you uneasy a little bit too. Like there's a slight queasiness to the whole thing. Yeah, we tried not to make it sinister because we thought by its very form it is sinister. So when we did an episode on ghosts, we thought, well, let's not make it spooky because it's going to be spooky anyway. And if we set it, so that was quite sinister, and there's a kind of sinister spookiness. There's just kind of a vaguely authoritarian tone and a hint at this horrible world. It's kind of hinting that thing when you were a kid, you watched those programs, and it was kind of hinting at, I don't know, you may want a career in engineering, it may say, and you think, oh, and you see some horrible shot of a factory. And it's kind of hinting at what adult life is going to be. I think it's an adult life. Adult life is going to be. And, that horrible, kind of sinister, freaky thing that's going to happen when you get older. Yeah, and now you did, how many were in the first run? 10? 110. There were 8 in the first lot, and then there were 6 in the second lot. Yeah, in Britain we kind of only do a few episodes of things, unlike in America, which is a shame. Yes. But look, that's also, you kind of put your best foot forward, though. Exactly. With it, if you had done 22 of them, you might have had a few. Sometimes there's just no way to physically sustain. That a quality level like that in a time period. We have a couple of other episodes we wrote which we never got around to shooting. We wrote one about gold, which had an experiment with I think we coated a raspberry in gold, and then fed an electric current through the raspberry into a metal chamber where a woman was, and it created a double of the woman. And then we wrote our epic was about man, all about man, just man, and it ended with the words, what is a man? What is a man? What is a man? A man is a man. And you realise actually at the end that it wasn't really about man, it was actually about men, because there was no women in it at all. Now you had done that first season, and what led to expanding it, to doubling the length of the show, and to... Well, the BBC saying, we did these 10-minute shows, which are really weird in Britain, but there was this slot they had on air, a 10-minute thing for like new stuff, like, I guess, odd stuff, but it went out at a really good time. And then we said, and the show seemed to do well, and awards or blah, blah, blah. And then we said, can we do another series? They said, well, we only do one series of that slot, and then we use new talent. So we thought, oh, we'd really want to do it. And so we kind of thought, they said, well, we can't do a 30-minute series now because we don't think it will sustain the series. And then think about if you put humans in it. So we kind of went away, and it's kind of with different commissioning executives changing and blah, blah, blah. And then one of them called Mark Freeland, who's brilliant, stepped in and suddenly said, hey, look, I really want to do this. And so we kind of rethought it all. And, and we got to make another series, which was great. Because when I saw the first series, this was like, this is just absolutely perfect. And then knowing that the second series was going to be a half hour, I was skeptical at first. But I can say, without a doubt, I think the second series tops the first series. Wow, that's interesting. Because I prefer the first. But, I found a lot of Americans say what you say, that they seem to, I don't know. I mean, that's great, because I was sort of scared about doing the second one, and my favourite in the second one is probably the last one, which many may not have seen, so I won't give it away, but it's all like, inverted commas, live, and Prince Charles, we call him Sir Prince Charles, comes on the show live
I'm not going to ruin what happens, but that was. I'm really proud of that one. I think that's a funny one. That one.
It's. I've seen 5 of the 6 of the second.
Oh, have you seen the final one?
I have not.
You have to see that one because that will freak you out.
It's
because Sir Prince Charles comes to the show.
It's because you managed to maintain the tone of the first series, but completely just switching the format, and it really, there's stuff on it that just is the funniest stuff I've ever seen. When
that's fun.
like when that door, but you never address it. That to me is the thing. It's like the secret to it, not and a component of it that kills me every time is how you put these things out there that are never addressed.
Oh yeah, okay.
And then people just start to add up that just how weird certain things are, like that horrifying door that opens up that seems to it troubles every guest who comes.
It troubles them very slightly, very slightly. Yeah, there are a few things that aren't explained. Like for example, there's at the end of Series 1 that no one ever notices, and also in the end of Series 2, there's a man in a blue suit. He's just blue from head to toe, like his whole face is covered, who we secretly call Kobold, who in our mind is the man responsible for everything that happens on our program. He's like our lord and overseer, and he's there, and if you look, you see him. And also, in Series 1, if you look closely, there's a little owl, a china owl, in every single episode somewhere.
Now, we have Robert...
So was my auntie's owl as well.
Really? So a little
My
cameo.
Auntie Hetty.
A little cameo from your auntie.
Auntie Hetty's owl.
We have Robert Popper on the line. He is one of the 2 people, along with Peter Serafinowicz, who behind Look Around You, which is on Adult Swim every Sunday night here in America on the Cartoon Network. And the other thing you're kind of known for in America now, and I guess you have been known in England, is your book, the Time Waster Letters,
which everyone has to go and buy.
Yes, it's available here. Who printed it?
Oh, the Chicago Review Press.
Okay.
Good name, though, isn't it? Chicago Review Press. Yeah.
Yes. Now this book, this was given to me as a gift by Patton Oswalt. Gave this
Oh wow!
Do you know who that
He's
is?
Brilliant. Yeah, sure.
Isn't he the best?
Oh wow!
And he was said, "This is the funniest thing. You're not going to believe how great this is." And then it was.
Oh, cheers.
Yes, and I can say basically, if you had to sum up the Time Waster letters for people who are not up to speed, how would you do that, Robert?
What it is, it's they've been done before, but what it is, it's a series of mad letters that I wrote to very kind of British organisations and associations. So everyone from the Peanut Council to the British Tortoise Association to the Clarinet Society, these really British like hobby groups and things, the National Federation of Fish Fryers, and I write under the name Robin Cooper for the Time Waster letters, and they're just ridiculously stupid letters, never rude. They're just pointless and lots of drawings and designs. He has a character that he says that he has the trademark for called Parmenu, who's a ping pong bat who has the face of Errol Flynn. He sees if people want to, I can use him, Parmenu, to promote the National Federation of Bus Users, and I'll send a poster and a drawing, and they'll write back, and then I'll keep writing back. And it's basically persistence. Letters sometimes go on for like 6 months, 20 letters back and forth. So it's just silly letters, and I did one of those, and then I did a follow-up of that in the UK. But the first one, the Time Waster letters, come out in America. But yeah, I don't know if people know about it, because I don't really hear about if people buy the book or whatever, but yeah, no, it came out of a hobby, really. I've always done silly phone calls like a child, and I still do. And I used to, one day I just wrote a random letter I got sent some sort of junk mail, and I decided to write to them. It was a furniture company for garden furniture, and I said that I design furniture, and I'm a furniture designer, specialises in garden furniture, and they have a range of scarecrows I've made from beef. Would you like to see the drawings? And they wrote back and said yes. So and I can't draw, and from then on I just kept doing them. And I sort of got addicted to writing these mad letters, and the rest is the present.
There's one letter in the thing. The whole thing is just as funny as can be. But maybe there's one thing that had just killed me when you had written to when you had written to the Freshwater Biological Association.
Oh yeah, that was one that I had a strange-looking creature that has been lurking in around my pond, wasn't it? And I said, I don't. Yeah.
And I was looking at this with my my lady friend.
Your lady friend, just a friend who's a lady. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And when we turn the page to your illustration, it is just the fact that it's the thing that it killed me to the point where my head hurt.
Oh, that's nice.
Because there's something about it that the fact that you're playing these things, there's not a meanness to it.
No.
Which is it just makes it go down so much easier that you're clearly the
idiot.
You're clearly the idiot in the equation, in the dialogue.
Yeah.
And
I never want to be, nasty to anyone. It's like, for me, it's not my thing to write and complain and try and get someone in trouble or show them up. It's more like an exercise in total pointlessness and wasting my time as much as their time, but not in a harmful way, and utter ridiculousness. I also just love sort of getting weird words. And there's one letter I wrote to the Noise Abatement Society, people that can't stand noise, and I write and I say, I can't stand noise, it's ear filth, blah, blah. And that's why I've designed, because he invents, Robin Cooper, I designed a machine that can reduce noise by a factor of 25. It's called the Insimal Barati Lan. Insimal Barati Lan, a mad word. And my aim when I wrote that letter was to see if they'd write back, and write back with thank you for your letter about the Insimal Barati Lan, which they did, just knowing that they would have to spend 10 minutes copying each letter very carefully to spell that word. And then our correspondence, soon afterwards, they must have had a conversation. He said, well, I'm going to send the drawings over to our chief acoustic engineer, just knowing there must have been a conversation. Have you had a look at the drawings of the Insimal Barati Lan? Yeah, I have. I think it's pretty good. I think it's good. I just love that somewhere in their worlds, that concept is actually, they know that concept.
Yeah. It is one of those things that I think people are so used to things being kind of, like we were saying, having like a viciousness to it, or just somebody kind of being shown up with it. And it is really funny, and it's because it just drives me nuts that kind of humor, the kind of, hurting people, hurtful.
Yeah. Me too. Don't like it.
There's a real sweetness to it, and it is as funny as it gets, and it's the Chicago Review Press, I guess.
Yeah. If you go into any bookstore and say, "Hey, I like a book by the Chicago Review Press," I'm sure they'll. No, it's the Time Waster Letters. Yeah, Robin Cooper. It's the Chicago Review Press. Yeah, I love people to buy it.
Yes, as would
or steal it, whatever. Steal it.
Well, don't steal it.
No, don't steal it. Steal it and then come back and pay for it.
Yes, exactly. Well, you could maybe steal it, and then if you like it, you come back and pay double for it.
That's a good idea.
Because you took a flyer, the bookstore was kind enough to give you a flyer on it.
That's right.
So yeah, you pay twice.
That's exactly right.
We have Robert Popper on the line. He's half of the team behind Look Around You, the great British TV show, which is airing in America on Adult Swim on Sunday nights, and he's also the author of the Time Waster Letters. And now, if you were to look back to a young Robert Popper,
yes,
when did a young Robert Popper realize that he was funny?
When he was funny, I don't know if I realized I was funny. I realized I was quite silly. I don't know. I was kind of quite a silly family. So, and we used to watch a lot of comedy. Basically, I was a Monty Python kid. I was always watching Monty Python on tape. Mm-hmm. I was one of those annoying ones that knew Monty Python and making my own tapes of the shows. Still got some of them. They're terrible. And just playing my guitar, making up stupid, annoying songs. So I was always into doing silly stuff. I was the one that would always be making phone calls, which I still do. I can't believe I still do it, but ridiculously stupid phone calls to people. And I've always been slightly silly.
So the heroes, Monty Python.
Oh, Monty Python. I used to love all the British stuff. I used to love was like Monty Python. I don't know if people know Reggie Perrin, John Cleese, 40 Towers, things like Dad's Army, all the old stuff, Steptoe and Son, all that old British stuff I used to love. And I kind of brought up on all that stuff, really. And shows like the young ones we used to have, Not the 9 o'clock News. Then, of course, things like The Day-to-Day, Chris Morris, Alan Partridge, all those brilliant shows. I love The Office when that was on. All that stuff, British-wise and American stuff. Massive fan of South Park, which I just think is unbelievable. And you've got so many brilliant shows. And I love Tim and Eric, which is like my favourite show ever.
Yes.
It's unbelievable. Have you seen Spaghetti? That's the best sketch I've ever seen. With Tim, I can't even explain it. You just have to see it on YouTube. Spaghetti, he just plays this random character called Spaghetti. It's just unbelievable, yeah. And I love it.
No, I think we have a call here. Somebody wants to ask you a question. Is that all right?
Yeah, is it my mum?
Well, we will find out, won't we? WFMU.
Hi, is this Tom?
Yes, this is Tom.
Tom, this is Julie Klausner calling.
Julie Klausner. How about
Hi,
that?
how are you?
From New York City.
Yes, that's me.
Robert, can you hear this caller?
I can just about hear you. Hello?
Hi, Robert.
Hey, how you doing?
Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello?
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 I'm calling because I am a big fan of the Time Waster letters.
Oh, cheers.
And I had what was startling to me about the response letters that you received back from all the hobby groups that you wrote was how polite they were and also how specific they were in answering your questions. And I mean, is that a specifically British thing because you guys still write letters?
You know what? I think it is because I think people that run hobby groups, number one, are going to be specific. And I think if you're British, you're really specific. And writing letters, British people are quite polite because I tried writing my letters to America and no one would reply.
And then the hobby groups themselves, I mean, is there any American equivalent?
I've got like the directory of all the American hobby groups, like all of them. I bought it. And I wrote to about 30 of them and not one of them ever replied.
Is it just because we're slobs, or I mean?
I'm not saying we're a better country. I wouldn't say that. I don't know what it is, but no one. Maybe they just. I don't know. Maybe they just realised I was a loony and they thought I'm not going to write back.
All right.
All right.
Thank you,
Hey,
Julie.
lovely to speak to you.
Julie, by the way, is one of the funniest people going. Also.
Hey.
Oh,
I couldn't hear.
Sometimes I'm coming
I
and
couldn't hear
sometimes
very
I'm
well, but I just want to say thanks for calling. That's really nice to speak to you.
Yes, she's very nice young lady, very talented young lady.
Cool.
So just as a couple of questions. I know it's late there. I know you're probably tired.
No, and my girlfriend's tired, but I've got to say hello to Donna, who's listening, who has a brilliant blog called You Ruddy Guys, but she somehow finds the funniest stuff on the internet. So if you get bored, You Ruddy Guys, it's worth checking out.
People can check out You Ruddy Guys.
Yeah, YOURUDDY GYUS, You Ruddy Guys. Very funny.
Now, can you tell me about Tarvuism?
Tarvu, praise Tarvu. Yeah, Peter and I invented this. We always used to our god we used to worship was Tarvu, and we set up a website a few months ago, and we made some films about Tarvu, who's our god. And Tarvu came to us about 3,000 years ago as a baby boy and was raised by the holy octopus Ubu, and met the prophet Amzam Miviram, and came to be as one on earth as fellow men, and to teach them the way of goodness, and that's Tarvu, and that's Tarvuism. And you can see it all on Tarvu.com, a few of our films, and we're doing some more stuff at the moment to make the website a bit more busy. But yeah, it's a growing religion. Praise Tarvu.
So just on the side, when you're not working on, Look Around You or anything, you just decided to just create a new religion.
Yeah, well, we were thinking about it, and we we were meant to be doing some show for Adult Swim, which we're not doing at the moment because I think our show is too expensive. But we're working on a kind of TV or filmy idea for it. But while we were doing it, we started writing our own little Wikipedia and encyclopedia online between ourselves of the religion and all the different prophets and the books. The Tarvanti is our Bible, and Barbarism is the antithesis of Tarvarism, and Phil Collins is a barbarist. And we just started amassing all this stuff and writing it on the side when we were working, if you have an hour to spare. And after about a year of doing that, we realized we had hundreds of pages, and we thought, we've got to put this online. And then we thought, well, what more can we do? And we shot some stuff in America and put a few films online and up on the website, and people seem to have... I mean, to be quite honest, yesterday I had a couple of guys who rang on my bell from some religious persuasion. I won't say who they are, but they were trying to convert me, and they asked me if I was... This is Sunday. They asked me what religion I was, and I said, I'm a Taoist. And they said, I haven't heard that one, so I told them all about Tavu. And my girlfriend came down as well, and we talked about the two universes, Universe A and Universe B, and about Ubu, and that we don't eat bread. And they were, I think they're quite shocked. I ended up shaking hands with them, saying praise Tavu with them, which was good.
Suddenly the predator became the prey.
Exactly. The predator became the predatee.
Yes.
Mm.
We have another call here. I'm
Blimey.
going to put this on the air. The WFMU, you're on the air.
Hey, it's Tim Heidecker.
Tim,
Hey, how's it going?
how's it going, dog?
It's good to hear you.
Can you hear me?
It's good to hear you.
I can just about hear you.
How about now? Can you hear him better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, I'm just listening to the show, and I feel like I feel bad for you guys because I feel like I'm listening to you're just plugging, your show. I mean, you're just plugging Look Around You and plugging Time Wasters letters, and I mean, maybe we should talk about this off the air, but it just feels a little cheap to just be talking about your work.
Sure, what should I talk about?
Well, I think I was expecting you to just have a little more, something interesting to say. I feel like it just sounds a little cheap to be keeping going and on and on and on about Look Around You on Adult Swim.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, I was going to talk about, the current political situation in Britain at the moment, but I didn't know if I had the time. That is what I wanted.
Tom, do you agree? Do you think that it's sort of turning into just like a sort of a cheap plug for this show, or are you okay with it?
Well, I kind of do what the publicist kind of tells me to do on these things.
Uh-huh.
I kind of just roll with it. They kind of send through suggested questions, and then that's kind of where we land.
Yeah. It's just the first reaction that I got listening to it was, oh my God, they're going on and on about it. And Robert's such an interesting guy. He's got such different perspective on politics and women's rights and all that kind of stuff that I'd love to hear.
And I know you, Tim. I know when you're not making Tim and Eric, you do a lot of work for women's rights. You and Eric.
Yeah.
And we were planning a big reach out program with you guys. And I don't know what happened. I mean, we were there at the meeting and you just didn't turn up.
Well, there's a long story that I don't want to get into off the air. We're not on the air, right?
We're still on the air, but I think the whole women's issues project you were doing, we were very upset. We'd flown all the way to New York, and you and Eric were meant to be there, and you just weren't there. I mean, it was cold, didn't have anywhere to stay, and we had the placards.
Well, I know. I mean, we've talked about this. I don't think it's appropriate for the show to go into why we weren't at the women's rights meeting.
It was like $800 each, and it cost us like.
Yeah, and I will reimburse you. I think we.
Well, we're still waiting. I mean, Eric's paid his half, but you haven't paid.
Yes, and I'm working on getting that money together.
Right. So this is like the third show I've been on that you phoned up, and when I've asked for the money, you just keep saying you will get me the money.
Well, then we can settle it in small claims court if that's the way you want to go. I mean, I don't know why you want to bring it up. I call and try to give you some constructive criticism on the way you're handling these radio interviews, and you don't take my advice.
But we flew thousands of miles. You said you'd meet us there, and no one was there.
Well, then take me to small claims court, Robert, because we're not...
you know what? I am going to take you to small claims court.
Okay, well,
I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it
first, not tomorrow. If not tomorrow, the day after. I'm very busy doing it. The day after, I will take you to the small claims court.
Do you think
I will need your home address, though. Do you have your address you can give me, or should I get it afterwards?
You know how to get in touch with my barrister, I'm sure.
Okay, fine.
Okay, well, I'll take my answer off the air. Nice hearing from you.
Okay.
Jeepers.
Blimey,
So Blimey, our Jeepers is your Blimey?
You know, we had this whole women's rights group we'd set up with Tim and Eric and me and Peter, and we flew all the way 3 times to New York for the meeting, and they weren't there, and I guess we'll have to sue.
Maybe it's time for you to mix it up a little bit. Maybe you and Eric should work together.
I think it's me and Eric. Saying there's nice things about Tim. I think me and Eric will have to work together. Yeah, because he paid the money.
Then you let Peter and Tim do their thing together.
Well, if Tim pays Peter, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and maybe Peter's with Tim now. He's in America at the moment. Maybe they're just all ganging up on me. I don't know.
You're the lone holdout.
I am the lone holdout. I am just me and my letter writing.
Now, Robert Popper, what can a fan of yours can go to where to find out more? What is your website again?
It is www Robert Popper .com.
Okay.
And you can see all my stuff and come and say hello. And join in the issue about women's rights.
Yes.
Yes.
And
make a donation.
To
me.
To you. Okay, that's just good. It's not to women's rights.
To women's rights.
And what does the future hold for a Robert Popper?
Blimey, what does it hold? Hopefully more stuff with Peter, and one day maybe another silly book, and hopefully do something in America would be really nice. And we'd actually like to do something with Tim and Eric. We've been talking about doing some stuff one day, which would be brilliant. Kind of lots of thingies. I've been very vague, aren't I?
You're playing your cards close to the vest.
I am.
Very, very crafty.
Yeah, really, really vague. Just general stuff.
You can't give this away.
Yeah, if I knew, I'd tell you. So I'm just saying general stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you were to do this, if you were to give it away now, you'll get some third rater is just gonna take it and crank it out real fast.
Oh, let them, please.
They'll do just a cheapo version of it.
Sure, they'll do a good version. There's loads of brilliant people out there.
Well, I can say, Robert Popper, without a doubt, in all seriousness, look around you. Is my favorite things are like the first series of I'm Alan Partridge.
Oh, amazing!
I can't think of anything.
Unbelievable, that.
I don't know what tops that.
No, you can't. It's unbelievable. That every single second is funny.
Yes.
It's ridiculously funny, that show. It's too funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
The only thing that matches it in my mind.
Yes.
Is look around you.
Oh, you're mad.
I'm not. No.
Well, that's really nice. But yeah.
Because you created a world.
A world, a universe.
Yes.
Yes.
You did it.
We did it.
You did it.
We did it. We're a success.
I don't like when you talk like that.
Why? Is it scary?
It's a little scary.
It scared me a bit then.
Yeah, you sounded very... All of a sudden you sounded... Look, I'm American. It's the greatest country ever.
Of course.
You kind of made me not want to live here, the way you sounded.
No, America's good. America's good. I love America.
It sounded like it was rubbing off on you. The bad parts are rubbing off on you.
Can I just say, Tim Heidecker is a lunatic, isn't he?
Well, yeah, look, I'm not going to besmirch the guy.
Sorry, just realizing he's mad. Okay, sorry.
Well, he's clearly litigious also.
Yeah, of course.
I'm definitely not going to... I'm definitely not going to say anything that it could just be grounds for...
Exactly, of course, because for the small claims court, of course.
Yes, exactly. I don't want to be squaring off against him in small claims.
No, you wouldn't want to do that.
So, Robert Popper, I'm going to let you go to bed.
Thank you very much. That was such fun.
I thank you so much for staying awake. It's almost 2 a.m. there now.
Exactly.
So,
I think I'm going to stay up the whole night tonight now.
Now you can go have
I'm
a kip.
I'm going to stay up the whole night.
You call it a kip,
I'm
right?
going to drink a bottle of milk, a bottle of orange juice, and then another bottle of milk. Now, live on the radio.
Are you a little punchy? You're a little punchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
A bit.
It's time for bed.
Time for Cot Betty.
What's on TV right now over there?
On TV now? What, you want me to turn the TV on?
Well, just you can from memory.
From memory, but why use memory when I have the TV, which I can
Let's
flip
turn it on. Let's find out.
Let's see, but you want the normal British channels, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
the normal ones.
The normal ones. Let's see, BBC One. This will be good. Wait. Hold on. I never know how much. Hold on, right, okay. This is good radio, isn't it? Hold on. A man tuning in. Of course, my TV doesn't work properly. Actually, my TV doesn't work properly. It's good, isn't it? One minute. It might work on this. Oh, here it is. Okay, Who Do You Think You Are is on, which would mean nothing to you. It's an impressionist called Rory Bremner, who is going back into finding out who his family were in the past. BBC Two, oh wow, if we were up at 4, it would be Talk German, modules 1 to 6. I'd love to see that. We've got BBC News. On ITV1 is a program called Loose Women, but it's not rude. It's a daytime program with 5 women in their late 50s who talk about nails.
So it's like you're The View.
It's just them talking about hair and men, and then on Channel 4 is something about the Olympics, and then we've got 5. We've only really have like 5 terrestrial channels. It's mad, isn't it?
That is mad.
And then we've got other bits and bobs.
That's getting me mad.
Yeah, it's getting me mad. But if you give me a number between 1 and 500, I'll see what's on that channel.
Mike, yell out a number. 7.
Not 7, that doesn't exist.
wrong with
100 and 500. Go on. 100 and 600.
The guy who screens calls for me, my associate producer.
100 and 600. Come on.
He can pick between 1 and 500.
No, between 100 and 600.
Mike, a number between 100 and 600. 101.
Now we've done that one. That's BBC One.
Never mind. Look.
Just
Robert,
pick another number.
344.
Right, come on, I want to play this game. Channel unavailable. It's a different number. Come on.
376.
376. Flaunt Hard. And that is Get Ready to Party Hard with the finest tracks from the 90s to now.
Okay. I just don't want to, it's a family program. I don't want to hear audio from
there's no audio.
Video nasty playing.
Don't worry about that. There's none of that. You just don't want to get in the 700s.
That's where
that's why I said 1 to 600.
And that's why he said 700.
Exactly.
He's got like an instinct for that kind of
stuff.
stuff.
A dirty instinct.
He does. Well, Robert, in all seriousness, thank you so much for calling in. It's very exciting
Thank you so much.
for me.
Lovely to speak to you. Thanks so much.
And people should check out Look Around You. Now, Look Around You's done, right?
Look Around You's done. It's history.
No chance. Somebody emailed me, wanted to know if there was ever going to be any other permutation of it.
Probably not, sadly. But we'll have to think of something new. We can't go on about that. We've got to get a new thing,
Exactly.
You better hurry up.
Exactly. This isn't like those movies, those British movies where there's 800 of them.
Exactly.
The Skipper, what are they?
Skipper?
Tally-Ho? What are those movies
something
called?
like that. Tally-Ho 300.
What are those movies? Oh, You Kid?
Carry On.
Carry On.
Carry On. Oh, You Kid. It's good. I like that.
Well, thank you, Robert. I appreciate
thank you very much. It's really nice to be to you. Take care.
You have a great night.
Praise Tarvis.
Praise Tarvis, yes. How about that? Robert Popper.